What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the debut EP by American actress and singer Miranda Cosgrove. Basically, this project is called About You Now, and it came out in the winter of 2009. So this particular chica here had like a particular television run, pictures like that. She had like some television shows within that particular fair. I want to say it was like iCarly, something to that effect. But I look after it here, she basically came on the scene within similar type fashion of folks like Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, some of those type folks. I want to say even Demi Lovato just from the pitch, particularly around that time. Just a real nice facet of like electro pop and this pop rock within the pitch. Now I definitely see some Avril Lavigne themes within this particular product, which is pretty awesome. Kind of get just basically like a miniature type version, just without like the sheer kind of full bound gothicness, but within the aspect of this having like that pop rock kind of tint, just within the concept of maybe mildly, I would say. I mean, I don't know if it would full bound kind of be Hottopic store type music within the pitch behind it, probably within the neighboring community. I'm trying to think of a place that would have been similar to Hottopic, that this is a little bit more vanilla within the sense. This is kind of the concept of just that particular format. It's kind of it's surprising that Miranda Cosgrove had this particular shade about her as far. It's surprising that Miranda Cosgrove had this particular shade about her as far as those particular fairs would kind of have. And I look after it, it's not like I have a problem. It's going to get like a pretty classic score within the pitch behind this. All 5 of these songs are recommended within the pitch behind it. But it's just kind of the concept as far as saying, I would have thought that she would have probably approached from like the same direction as like probably I would have said, yeah, definitely like Ariana Grande or Selena Gomez, some of those type folks that were just particularly like saccharine kind of bubblegum pops. It's just the pitch. Do you like the tint about this particular product? Just the real spice of it. Just kind of like pretty much like I would say like a more this definitely has a pretty edge. This is a pretty edgy type product within the pitch, just within a more vanilla type sense. It's just kind of like vanilla with like a spice. It's a little bit trickier to describe within the pitch behind it, but it's just basically like a vanilla kind of gothic album within the pitch. Just good trace of alternative pop, a little bit more edgier than probably Miley Cyrus around that particular time, a little bit more just darker within, a little bit edgier than Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato, some of those particular type vibes. So it's a good type flair here just to be able to get this particular concept, because the thing about it is Miranda Cosgrove did not typically drop music. She only really dropped 3 projects. I think she was really more of just like mostly kind of an actress as far as those fairs gonna happen. So it's been probably since like 2011, some of those type fairs, since she's really put out anything. But just in the pitch as far as saying excellent type of appeal here to get this particular project. Only 1 single off this project, but it hits pretty heavily. Now there was at least a promo single, because apparently she did some music kind of similar to Miley Cyrus, how she did the Hannah Montana stuff. I would say that Miranda Cosgrove did like a couple iCarly projects, something like that, which had like some songs, but just like that, one of which was Leave It All to Me, another one was Stay My Baby, and some of those type ones within the fair. So it's just kind of concept. She had a pretty huge 2008. This blossomed into 2009. Was a good type pitch. So it's just within the tone, just the same sort of format. I would just go in with the same sort of format when thinking of like the same format, this kind of same sort of pop type appeal within the pitch as like Miley Cyrus, but just with a more Avril Lavigne type edge behind it. So it's a good type pitch, but this is really not, despite the fact that this would seem like it's teen pop or something like that. It doesn't really have as much like whether or not you would think that this is more teen pop within a sense, and just kind of more for like the junior league or something JV like within pitch. It doesn't have that particular aspect about it. It does have like an edge factor. I would basically just say that this particular chica here is just basically like Avril Lavigne's little sister, just within pitch behind it. Is kind of the concept of that same sort of format. There's a lot of songs in here, at least the 3 original songs in this product just feel like within the fashion that probably, I'm not going to say that they were written by Avril Lavigne, but they have a lot of similarities within the pitch that could basically be like the concept of like a cousin, that particular style. It's just something ripped out of Avril Lavigne from probably either 2002 or 2007, some of those type fairs. Not quite as gothic, but within the pitch, within that neighboring community where it's like a good, more vanilla cousin. So I look after it. Basically, the title track was the lead single off this product. Pretty dope here to kind of get. It's like a dope kind of routine after task kind of cruise around. I'd have to say within the pitch behind it, just some neighborhood glaze, I'd say here, and just good for like snack runs, pitches like that. So it's just kind of that typical format, like that 4:30, 5:30 p.m. type after effect. It just got done with class or work, some of those particular type sessions, just in the pitch behind it. Just that typical kind of evening glaze, just in the fashion, just makeshift kind of slag and fatigue as far as those fairs gonna happen. It's relative relief, not quite as worn over as like the pitch is compared to like folks that would probably do that are in like their late 30s, 40s, pitches like that. But just kind of the concept like that relative relief, and just kind of the usual fatigue of just, it just has more pep of just like picking up. This is not necessarily a go home settle in type music, but it's just when the pitch is just saying, wow, I'm glad that that's done within the pitch as far as that particular fair kind of happens. Just going and getting like Burger King, something like that, going and getting like some Taco Bell, some of those type pitches, just from the tone, getting like, Wendy, some of those type pitches from the aspect behind this typical type fare. Definitely some of those type songs that like folks like, alternative rock type fashion. When you think of like the Killers, when you think of like, the Killers, when you think of AFI, some of those particular type folks within the pitch behind it, folks like them, I'd probably say a little bit of Pop Roach within a relative type sense, Panic at the Disco, some of those type folks just from the pitch. But yeah, this has a lot of shrill, this real spitting image type. This particular song has a lot of shrill, this spitting image type similarities to Avril Lavigne as far as what's going to happen with it. Just pretty much like I was saying, all three of the original songs in here have that particular format within the fare behind it. But it's a good type fashion just because it's a good type pitch it's a good type pitch that has Avril Lavigne type flavor just from the pitch. It is more in like a vanilla pop to sense. So it pulls it off. Even if when I was saying that this feels like the younger sister of Avril Lavigne, it's not to say within a sense that it's more just like PG movies and just more kind of like, like snack time type, animal cracker type stuff in the pitch. It's not to say within that particular type fashion. It's kind of the tone that it just is not as gothic and just, not as morose, I'd say. It's still within the pitch within that. So it's good type fare. But FYI is a nice one. So yeah, basically I recommend all 5 of the songs on here. So yeah, this project would basically get a 10 out of 10. Simple enough, just a clean cut kind of aspect as far as those fares going to happen. Just a good type pitch to be able to get some of that particular type fare. Just easy enough kind of batch of this song as far as those pitches going to happen. Just every song on here just to recommend within that. Really like the flair of this particular product. This real pretty party centric type product too. On top of that, this really has a fun factor that's really high within the pitch behind it. This really has a concept, but this not like these makeshift songs that have like a relative pitch on here, but it's just the concept of having like the turn up, like the 2 Spider remixes really add like some enhancements that make particularly more vanilla type songs that just give them a little bit more electro pop kind of bounce. That just has a little bit more groove about them, and foot tap type jive bill have some moments for just like some good kind of contemporariness within tones. So this is the concept, but look after it. So yeah, FYI is another nice one here. It's like a similar kind of late day primer fashion to About You Now, the title track as far as those fares going to happen. This is like an alternative rock kind of Thursday fun to kind of get here. So it's just the pitch. Another one that feels like with an Avril Lavigne type fashion, just the pitch as far as that kind of goes. Just looking after it, I would have to say it's kind of one of those type ones of getting ready to step out. Probably being like within a turn up type sense, it's probably something for like 6:30, 6:45, getting ready to go to like a house party, something like that. The relative type place to get crunk as far as this pitch can happen. It doesn't full bound embrace. Not sure it's full bound if Miranda Cosgrove, especially amongst like her teen pop type days, was talking about full bound getting turned up and having drinks in her system. Was just in the pitch as far as saying it has the relative spice of this, the concept of going to some places where you are going to have the turn up there. So it's just kind of a primer for some of that. It goes basically a good 1-2 punch. Or I feel like About You Now is just the relief of just got done with task, and then FYI is getting ready for like the primer, getting ready to step out to get to like some shindigs as far as those first happen. So it's just a good Thursday type conduit type within the pitch behind a good type tone. It's a real nice excitement type one to spark some things. Party Girl is a good highlight as well. Now this Party Girl, the third song, is a good highlight as well. It's like a nice bass guitar and jumping kind of house party groove to kind of get here, just to get rowdy kind of low-key bubbler within the pitch behind it. So just kind of the prospect as far as saying just good. Party Girl, the third song, is a nice one on here as well. It's like a nice bass guitar and jumping kind of house party groove to kind of get here, just to get rowdy kind of low-key bubbler as far as this pitch kind of happen. Kind of pitch, again, a real nice one. This kind of reminds me of like a pitch like a Nirvana song. I forget the particular one. I'll probably put it in like the connotation, but this feels like the fashion of like a song like Stay Away, some of those type pitches. Just real nice one. Just real like the bass guitar kind of groove on this particular fare about it. This really feels like something Red Cup type music, but just in a more kind of low-key type fashion. Really, the concept about this is another one that feels like something Avril Lavigne would have done, despite the fact that she wasn't really doing house party type songs like this in like her 2000s days just within the fair. So it's a good type concept that Miranda Cosgrove kind of beat Avril Lavigne to the punch within a certain sense within the pitch behind. But it's just some good type fare, kind of get some of these type moments that dislike. Probably just the concept. It's the same pitch as far as saying that these are good primers for that, even if it doesn't warrant like the full bound concept as far as saying that you're going to get tore up as full bound within. It's just a good concept to have for some of these type moments to just have the noise, the disc, social commotion, and dance grooves as far as this pitch can happen. Just good type spice within the pitch behind it. So it's good type flair. It's like the most turned up one on here, I'd have to say. But then I'd also say that About You Now, the Spider remix is pretty close to that. That's a great 1-2 punches. Party Girl and About You Now, the Spider remix. So it's good type fare. But talk about the remixes here. Basically, the About You Now Spider remix, like a groovier and kind of dance hop boost to like the original. I had to say, just good song to shake your pom poms too as far as those pitch can happen. Just kind of within the concept. And by that, shake your ass within the pitch as far as those flares can happen. Is within the fare as far as saying just the pitch of. Yeah, the About You Now Spider remix just has a little bit more of like a foot tap type aspect about it. Just kind of a Yeah, the About You Now Spy remix just has a little bit more of like a foot tap kind of up tempo-ness about it within the pitch. Just good, nice kind of groove, real nice kind of pacey one within the pitch behind it. So this works as like a pretty good flare. This probably one also works for like some snappy kind of commerce within the same fashion. Like the original About You Now is just kind of a fashion and just got done with workshop. But this is probably one just within the tone as far as getting ready to go to like a venue, something like that. Just kind of a pitch of like, yeah, I'm getting ready to pull up some of those. About You Now, the Spy remix is just kind of some of the fashions of, yeah, getting ready to pull up some of that particular type fare, just the spices of getting ready to get crunk within the same fashion. Just kind of more exhilarating, the excitement behind within the fare. Definitely works for like some house party type grooves within the pitch. Just kind of a good concept, like a good pop rock type one within the pitch, electro pop within the pitch, as far as having that particular bounce just within the flare behind us. Is good type fare for some of that. Party girls within the same pitch, just a little bit more. Party girls a little bit more amongst emotions, a little bit more dance noise. But this is a particular type one that just has a little bit more electric sheens about it. Just really nails the pitch and just like some good gloss and just overall like ferocity within the pitch. So it's good, just good nice foot tap. Then Stay My Baby, the Spire remix, a good type one as well. I'd have to say it's like a nice neighborhood kind of step in, kind of get here, just a good extra bounce about this particular one, just real spruced up within the pitch. So it's just good type tone for some of this. Just kind of more than a localized type fashion. It's kind of more within the same aspect of probably like FYI, but just kind of more neighborhood strolls. Maybe just walking to like a gas station, getting like some quick snacks, something like that, getting like a lighter, some of those type fares. I mean, obviously within the more vanilla type sense, I mean, this is within the vanilla type pitch of kind of having the concept of just being like a more, not necessarily angsty type sheen about it, but just within the pitch, it is more kind of like like I was saying earlier, just kind of a gothic vanilla type pitch within the pitch behind this kind of alternative, just a good, basically just like a good banner, a good vanilla packaging of like an alternative album as far as those pairs can have. But this just has like some good electro pop type bounces about it. So it's just Stay My Baby Spider remix. This has a nice bounce within the pitch, like this the neighborhood kind of outings just in the fair behind. So just good concept to pick up, like once again like frozen burritos, some of those type fairs, corn nuts, Chex Mix, some of those particular type fairs. Just kind of in between type moments of finishing up like the last minute kind of straightening type things to get some moments straightened for more songs like Party Girl and About You Now Spy remix. So it's just good conduit type song within the pitch. Just real feel good type groove within the pitch as far as those kind of particular affairs going to happen. Just nice pep in your step within the concept of just further kind of weekend primers and just kind of relief of just like some good embrace of like some social jaunts this within the pitch. So it's good type fair. So yeah, this EP gets a 10 out of 10. Social score I'll probably give within the pitch behind it, maybe like a 9.75. But look within the fair, I think Miranda Cosgrove was popular enough just between her being like a television sensation, some of those type fairs. Definitely nails the Avril Lavigne type vibes, definitely nails the alternative rock type vibes within the pitch. This probably could be like a relative kind of, like I've been saying, vanilla kind of Hottopic type album within the pitch behind. Just kind of the concept, just bringing some of that to like more kind of disc markets of just being like a just cousin that particular style, just, and not to say more full bound kind of rambunctious, but just a little bit more frivolous compared to Avril Lavigne, which was just more morose and kind of just more hell bent, and just kind of the concept of just more kind of down in the dumps within the fashion. This doesn't have as much rumination, doesn't have as much kind of emote of just like more morbid typeness, but it's just from the pitch as far as saying it's just the concept of this is pretty, it's like a good alternative kind of bubblegum pop type album within the pitch. It's just good pitch for that as far as what's going to happen. So I look within it, but this is kind of the fashion that there's only one single, and it's kind of a shorter type project. I had to say within Tony, you really only get 3 original songs. The remixes do hit pretty heavily just in the pitch behind it, but the promotion just is real a shot in the arm, just pitched like that. So it's a grand and great EP within the pitch, but this probably leaves you hungry for a lot more within the fair. It's too bad that Miranda Cosgrove didn't have more projects to throw out, and probably could have gotten some extra spare type songs, something like that. It's a good type tone. In terms of the future, that's kind of difficult because I want to say maybe possibly Miranda Cosgrove's dropped singles. I looked on her Spotify and there might be something like that within the pitch of like 2025 singles, some of those particular type fairs. I was trying to find this particular project. It's actually not on Spotify, which is strange for some reason, but it isn't. I look within the fair, there's been like some singles pitched like that. So she has dropped at least spare or loose songs within some of those type fairs, but I just look within the concept as far as saying there are at least 2 more projects I'm going to get to within some of those type fashions. One's an album and one's another EP, but some classic type fair, real dynamic and dynamite type project within an alternative sense, definitely some excellent trill type fairs.